And what do you think the United States' relationship with Israel looks like going forward? Even let's say there is a ceasefire deal that's reached, what does that look like?
Well, ceasefire, one could envision. The first 6 weeks, you get most of the hostages out. Israel moves away from population centers. A lot of aid goes back in. You get, a number of prisoners released for hundreds of hostages released for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. You can kind of get from here to there. What I have trouble envisioning is what comes next, because I think war probably comes next again. Netanyahu would want to finish the job. The Israeli public would probably want to finish the job of taking down Hamas. And I'm not sure that Hamas, is a lot more interested in this ceasefire than Netanyahu is. There are these two right-wing extremists kind of feeding each other right now, this really, really bizarre kind of political formation. I think that Hamas is gaining immensely by this unthinkable before the war, global reputational takedown of the state of Israel. And I don't think that Yahya Sinwar cares deeply about Palestinian lives. I think he cares about himself as an historical figure. I don't think that they would agree to the ceasefire. So that's kind of where we are.
So, saying all of that about Hamas, about Sinwar, you don't think there's any indication Hamas is going to accept this proposal?
Any indication? I mean, this is how many days we've been through. We've seen this movie dozens of times. I see nothing new about the Hamas response, first. Secondly, I was just in Qatar, 3 weeks ago. And the Qataris tell me, and some of these are the guys, who are in the room where it happens, or close to the room, that every time the sides get close to an agreement, the side that thinks it's got something to tactically gain by walking away walks away. So given the pattern, given the history, I am leery about a ceasefire.
So, Cliff, what do you think is missing from this international conversation? Because it's a conversation that's been going on for now 8 months. I mean, this conflict has been going on for much longer than that. So what do you think's missing here?
I don't think much is missing because there are a lot of smart people saying a lot of stuff, right? So when that happens, it's hard to miss things. I think what people are missing is the reality that this is likely to go on until Netanyahu and his government believe that Hamas is more or less destroyed. Less than total victory, which again, over the weekend, if you watch the details, he didn't repeat a bunch of kind of unclear statements coming out of Netanyahu over the weekend. He didn't repeat his total victory mantra, meaning he might have climbed down a little bit in his goals. But unless Bibi believes that Hamas is operationally incapable of doing another October 7, which Biden claimed, the Israelis don't agree with that, they're going to keep going. So where this is headed is Israel facing a pretty severe insurgency, at least in the near term. Israel providing the general security environment, call it occupation, call it whatever you want, but Israel controlling Gaza until there's some kind of handoff. Not going to happen that quickly, I don't think. We're heading towards a much less bloody, but still bloody, highly unstable, and highly escalatory in the sense that it will keep, the Northern Front, the Israeli fight with Lebanon going. It'll keep Israel-Lebanon going. It'll keep the Houthis shooting. So we're not heading for an equilibrium in Gaza that will allow either Gaza to calm down or will allow the myriad of other conflicts that are being driven by the Gaza conflict to calm down. To me, that's the sad reality.